Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Welcome to the video, guys. Hopefully it finds you all doing well. How are you all doing out there? I'm great. I think I shared, just before I started recording this video, I think I shared this in a video, gosh, I think it was the Helicath Unkillable video, when my son entered the room while I was recording. I told you how much he's into Ghostbusters. Well, I just purchased this Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Halloween costume, and I'm excited. Actually, you know what? I still have it open in the background. Here. I don't know if it's worth $70. I don't know. I think it's going to be worth it when I dress up as him. So he's going to be a Ghostbuster for Halloween, and I'm going to be good old Stay Puft.
What the heck is that?
He is part man, part pillow.
Feeling pretty good, guys. Feeling pretty pumped. Let's go ahead and talk about today's video. It's going to be a strategy. I actually shared a couple weeks ago, maybe, finishing the most difficult floors on all of Doom Tower. I showed you the teams that I use for Secret Room 12 on Doom Tower Hard. Well, plus Helhane, sorry about that. And Banshee, hey, what's up?
Coffee first.
And I also showed you the same thing with Secret Floor 9 and Secret Floor 4, etc. Basically using the same strategy, stun locking the opponent. So today I wanted to take that kind of one step further and talk about how to build a stun or really just OP control team using champions that are pretty accessible for everybody in the game. Now, where would you employ a strategy like this? Really, the answer is everywhere, right? You can use it in Faction Wars. Specifically, Faction Wars is great. Anywhere there's waves in the game, that you can clear or have difficulty clearing, you can use this strategy and essentially really never get hit, okay? So Faction Wars, any dungeon level that you're struggling on, that you kind of hit that plateau, go ahead and employ this strategy. And happy to report, you can use this strategy, this specific team that I'm about to show you guys. You can really use it on any single floor on Doom Tower Normal and clear all those floors. I'm going to show you the builds on these champions too. And you can use it on Doom Tower Hard up to around floor 100. So that should get you pretty far, especially if you don't have like an OP Seer and Kymar team or something like that. Let's go ahead and start out on normal, floor 119, right? The last floor. And here's the squad, guys. We get Archmage Helmet, the first Doom Tower Secret Room champion that you get on normal difficulty. This guy's a machine. On Time Slip, he has a 3-turn cooldown, 75% stun on the second hit. If they're not stunned, he's decreasing turn meter by 20%. An amazing, an OP control champion in the game. He's also bringing increased crit rate, increased speed, and increased crit damage. Really, really great for not just speed, but also maximizing the damage on our teams. Just an incredible champion, one of my favorite in the game. Really good base stats too, right? And then we have Syl the Drinks. Syl, when is your skin coming, baby?
What?
I've been thinking too much.
To say it, I hope I don't sound ridiculous. I don't know who this man is.
Did I just call a pixel baby? You're damn right I did. You're damn right I did. In AoE attack times 2 with the stun here. I'm not sure if I have her in Fearsome Presence or not, but we'll go ahead and check afterwards. Again, I'll show you all the builds. I love Khazard D-Part. He has 2 AoEs, both on a 3-turn cooldown, and he's in a stun set with Fearsome Presence. We also have Vizix the Unbowed. So basically all these champions, well, with the exception of the 2 rares, are free, right? You get all these champions no matter what, provided you play long enough, right? Daily login reward, daily login reward. Vizix is amazing. She has Ally Protect, she has decreased speed on the AoE, and she has Provoke and a shield on herself on an AoE as well. Fantastic champion. And Soul Bond Bowyer, an AoE on the A1. We haven't shut off her A2 or her A3, but if we wanted to maximize her control, we could go into the settings and really just shut off her A2 and her A3 ability. Some people shut off just the A2, some people leave the A3 on, some people leave them all on. We're going to leave them all on. This team shouldn't have any difficulties on auto, no matter what we do with the settings. So the idea here is stuns on stuns on stuns on stuns. Now Archmage is going to open up with his A3. Vizix is going to open up with her A2. So we're not landing all of those provokes and the extra stuns right away. We want to make sure that we're always have those abilities, enough abilities, excuse me, on cooldown. That way we can stun everybody. I don't think we got hit once on that first wave.
We're not here just to take part. We're here to take over.
Nay.
Guess you're right.
Now this is Doom Tower Normal. We're gonna move on to Doom Tower Hard. After this, I'll pick a random floor there and we'll see how we do. But essentially, this is the strategy that we used in those secret rooms as well, right? And this is, as I mentioned earlier, Faction Wars, dungeons, anywhere in this game, we're really kind of pivoting from the normal strategy of team composition. Normal strategy team composition, unless you're in the end game, right, with poison combust teams or something like that, is usually a debuffer, a nuker, a speed booster, maybe a reviver, a couple support champions, right? This team, we don't have, I guess we do have a debuffer in Khazar Deepart, the weak version, right? Champion like Bellower works in that position as well if you don't have Khazar Deepart, by the way. Champion like Banshee, Abyssal with AoEs on the A1, both rare champions as well. Champion like Gnarahorn, like Executioner, good control rare champions. I love all of them, right? Either way, super easy to clear this floor. This is a strategy that I would use any dungeon, well, provided you can beat the boss. You might have to make some tweaks. For example, a team like this, if I was going to use it on Ice Golem 25, I would just sub out Soulbond Boyer probably, and put in like a miscreated monster. You're gonna need some more ally protectors, some more, shields, right? Some more support on a team like that against those bosses. But either way, guys, this team gets the job done here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try a Doom Tower hard floor, then I will show you all the builds, and I think we'll probably call it a video. We don't need to, go super long here.
Who the hell is this guy?
So I think it should be easy any floor in the 60s, any floor in the 70s. Let's try like a low floor in the 80s here. Floor 81. Let's just see how we do. Let's just see how we do here, guys. Same exact team. Nothing has changed. I will say that I didn't really pay attention to the order much. I don't think I have an aura lead on this team. But we would want probably Vizix, like this, the most important champion outside Syl the Drakes, to go next to her in the team order. That way she's going to prioritizing reviving them in case we do lose a couple champions at the same time. But either way, we do get hit on this wave. Obviously, the mobs are a lot more challenging. But you'll see here, we got Provoke, we got Decreased Speed, we've got a Stun on the board right now. So just doing a really good job. I love AoE Decreased Speed on a team like this too. Because even if you don't land all of those stuns, you only have an 18 or a 23% chance, plus the abilities, 35% chance on Syl, 75 on Archmage Helmet. But essentially, the Decreased Speed is helping us get around to take more turns, land more Provokes and Stuns. And you can see the team is getting the job done again, guys. Can really sit here and show you every level 25 dungeon, every level 24 dungeon with the same sort of, methodology. However, I think you guys, you kind of get the point, right? Kind of get the point.
Absolutely.
This is beautiful. And this is, it's not going to make anybody's top speed run list. You're not going to see a Summoning Salt episode on how to speed farm and Raid Shadow Legends with AoE stun champions. However, this is good for, again, clearing a dungeon for the first time, right? And oftentimes, you'll have better champions that are better suited for the different affinities on the next level. So let me give you an example. I'm struggling on, let's just say, Spider 17. Oftentimes, or 18, oftentimes when you clear that affinity, even though it gets a little bit more difficult on the next stage, you just have better champions. So oftentimes when you reach those plateaus, you can employ a strategy like this and then switch back to, the more traditional strategy that you use on other champions. Now, these rare champions, especially, and I mentioned a bunch of them earlier, these are champions worth holding onto. Again, Abyssal, Executioner, Soulbound Bowyer. You can build multiple Soulbound Bowyers. Any champion with the AoE on the A1 or multiple AoEs like Khazar Deepart as well. He's also bringing increased accuracy to the table. I mentioned it somewhat recently. I think it was on the collab with Scratch. But man, Khazar Deepart is such a good champion, dude. He's such a good champion, such a good rare champion. The first champion added to the game with AoE increased accuracy. Second champion ever added to the game with increased accuracy after Stag Knight, right? And then Archmage Helmet is like a legendary champion. He's a legendary champion in disguise as an epic champion. Just fantastic. And he gives us the luxury, really, of building this team with not 100% crit rate. That in Soulbound Bowyer also has a, I think, 12% crit rate in all battles, so I do have her as my aura lead. I must, at least. She gets a counterattack there. We lose Soulbond, not the end of the world. We got Syl the Drakes. She'll pick her right back up. And you can see, even the weak version of Decreased Defense is helping us, slowly but surely get through this dungeon, right? So again, 3 minutes or so, that's good. And again, we can clear any stage on Doom Tower Normal, and we can stay clear up to, around the 80s, maybe early 90s, depending on the stage on Doom Tower Hard. Then you just got to work on the bosses, right? Then you just got to worry about optimizing your teams there.
How are you doing today, Jasmine?
After Soulbond dies again, poor thing. We're going to go ahead and show you the builds on all these champions. The gear isn't out of this world on any of these champions, maybe with the exception of Syl, but either way, the builds, the crit rates even on a build like this and the crit damage is not the first thing that we care about, right? It's nice to have. It's a nice, you know, afterthought, but it's really about maximizing speed, maximizing, you know, making sure you have the right masteries and gear selections. So Soulbond puts out 322, Vizix 626, Syl 400, 400, and 264. Khazard, man. Way to go. Way to go. Great job. All right, let's go ahead and show you the champions here. Vizix the Unbowed. What a champ, man. What a champ. She is in Bloodthirst, even though you can't see it over here. Here we go. She's in Bloodthirst. Lifesteal works just as well, you know. Increased crit rate, heals by 30% of the damage dealt. In a perception set, she needs accuracy, obviously, to be landing all her decreased speed and her provokes. She's built, you know, semi-fast, not really fast. Average speed, 193, maybe a little bit below average. A little bit too much crit rate. That must mean she has crit rate on the gauntlets, on these perception, and she does. We went defense on the chest as well. We went speed on the boots, we went accuracy, crit damage, and defense on the accessories. On masteries, we just have War Master. We went down support tree, picked up Lore of Steel as well. I guess a little bit of a bump on the perception set. We have Syl of the Drakes. We have her in Relentless. Now, a lot of people build Syl of the Drakes in other types of artifact sets, and obviously there's plenty of great sets for Syl of the Drakes, but I love her in Relentless. I love her in Relentless, guys. More turns, you're getting more heals out of her passive. Heals allows by 10% of their max HP at the start of the turn, and you're getting more increased speeds on random allies for 2 turns. So I really love how that benefits her entire kit. It helps reduce the cooldown of her ally, or excuse me, her revival, and reduce the cooldown and get more stuns off of the A2. So I love Syl in the Relentless, excuse me. And then I also built her pretty fast here, and I'm not worried about crit rate and crit damage on Syl of the Drakes. I just want her really fast, taking a lot of turns and enough accuracy to land those stuns. On masteries here, I do have the War Master, and we went down support tree again, getting all the healing masteries here on Syl. On Archmage Helmet, we actually went down the defense tree as well as offense. We have Helm Smasher, and I'm not really, frankly, sure why. I think I would rather go ahead and put him in War Master, but, you know, whatever. On his A1, I think it's just a one-time hitter, yeah, with a turn meter fill. What a champ, man. I have him in a shield set. It does help when you're trying to clear those really difficult floors, so I stand by that decision. However, I would say most of the time you can run Archmage Helmet either in Relentless as well, same reasons that we talked about with Syl, minus the passive, or we could run him in just, you know, speed gear or in perception gear, right? Because we do need the accuracy again on that stun on the time slip ability. And he has this like pretty cool passive, right, where he's immune to turn meter decreasing effects, which is pretty cool, right? We have, let me just show you really quick. Stun, what do I have on him in terms of artifacts? Crit rate, HP percentage, and speed. So, you know, you don't want to build these champions so squishy. Again, we're not worried so much about damage here. We're worried about keeping them alive first and foremost. Then we'll take some damage. Because our D part, you know, 100, 141, 343 again, needs the accuracy for his debuffs. You don't need accuracy to land stun. However, from a stun set, keep that in mind. On masteries, we have Fearsome Presence. That's going to give us an extra 5% chance of landing that stun. So 23% chance off of this artifact set. Really nice to not need the accuracy when you're landing stuns off of the artifact set. Soulbond Boyer, the same thing. We're not really super worried about her crit damage. However, 59 crit rate, excuse me, sounds like, you know, pretty crappy, but she has a built-in additional 25% crit on all of her abilities anyway, so we really only need 75% on her. And as we spoke about earlier, she also has Archmage Helmet, increased crit rate, and she has the Aura, ally crit rate in all battles by 12%. So really, she's going to be critting almost all the time, even with 59% crit rate. So really cool champion. Really fun to build. I have her like really super slow. As I said, pretty realistic gear on this champion. I don't need I do need accuracy for the A3, so keep that in mind to fully deplete the target's turn meter. But on the A1, I don't need accuracy because I'm putting this stun from the artifact set. So that's it, guys. Fearsome Presence on her as well. This is the mastery build that I would go with basically on any stunner. If you're using Banshee or any of the other champions we mentioned, who else do I use a lot? Let me take a quick look. Berserker is another one. Those are great options. That's a great mastery kind of build to use on those champions. Abyssal, I already mentioned. Berserker, Ashwalker, Elhain. These are the type of champions that I use those same masteries when I build them in a stun set. So guys, hopefully this helps some of you guys clear a dungeon for the first time or clear a Doom Tower level that you were just stuck on. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.